And begin to follow the breath into the body. It's a good opportunity now to make the decision, the choice, to disconnect from anything that you have going on in the world right now. Don't worry, the world will still be there when you're ready to come back. So acknowledge that we all need time, an opportunity to relax and let go. An opportunity to rejuvenate, an opportunity to bring out your healed state. And all it asks of you is permission. So give permission to yourself that it's okay for you to take time out and engage with your body. And relax. And as you follow the breath into the body, I want you to really notice your body. Notice your hands. Notice your feet. And imagine that you are breathing in and out through your feet. And each breath moves up the body on the inhale and moves out of the body through the exhale, right through the feet. Now I want you to notice some things about your body. Isn't it miraculous that with your thinking mind, you can send commands to your body to do things? Think about that for a second. This is something that we totally take for granted. But it is incredible that if I told you to lift the index finger on your right hand, this skeletal structure covered with a mass of muscle tissue and tendons and ligaments, with trillions of nerve cells, you can tell your body what to do. And what is it that's telling the body what to do? You've had as many years as you've been alive to examine, to think about what your self is. What is that thing that you call I? When you're talking to somebody and you say, I am, or I wish, or I was, or I'm going, what is that I? Now you may have associated it with the consciousness, which is just a word really, but it's this thing that sits behind your eyeballs. And when you look in the mirror, you see a form. and you've become really attached to it. You know its eye color and its hair color and its skin color, and you know the curve of its smile. You know where its ears are placed. But is that what you are? Are you the shape of that nose? How is it that the thing that you have been calling I all this time, how is it that it associated itself with this physical form? Is it because that's what's behind the eyes? Just check in with that for a moment. When you have a thought and you say to yourself, why did I have that thought? What is it that's asking that question? You are clearly not the thought, or else you wouldn't have been able to associate the thought somewhere outside of yourself. It came from somewhere. You observed that thought and questioned it. What is it that questioned that thought? What is this I? Now dropping back into the body. What is this body? You know that you need to take care of it. You know that if you treat it well, it will treat you well. And if you treat it poorly, it will treat you poorly. But is it what you are? Now I'd like for you to ground this body. Send fibers down into the earth, as if it were like a tree, sending roots down into the center of Mother Earth. Send them down into the center. Drop your belly down into the belly of the earth. Root in this physical form so that it feels comfortable, it feels safe, it feels like it is okay. And then bring your attention to the center of your head and breathe upward into the cosmos, sending the branches of that tree up and out into the night sky. Stars are always there, whether it's day or night. You just can't see them during the day. So send them up into the sky and connect in with consciousness. Which is essentially everything that we can't see, everything that we can't know, because we don't quite have the capacity to be able to know consciousness. We know the effects of it, and we know its directives, because it is the intelligence in all life. But now you deliberately send those branches of which you are the world tree. Each and every one of you, of us, send those branches out into that consciousness, connecting with more than your conscious mind now is able to gather, to understand, to ascertain. Send your branches up into the unknowable so that it can be known, and draw it back to you as you draw Mother Earth's love for you back into your heart center, and breathe into the heart center, connecting upward and downward simultaneously with the out breath, and on the in breath drawing the love of Mother Earth for you and that unknowable consciousness back into your heart center. Breathe. Two directions at once. And while you're breathing, I want you to bring your attention back to your body, but I want you to imagine that you're standing in the center of a hall of mirrors. Standing on a mirrored floor with a mirrored ceiling above you, and surrounded by mirrors reflecting yourself back to you. I don't know how many mirrors. 6, 8, 10, 12, 16, 24, 32. This is your environment. Create what's appropriate. I want you to see that no matter how many mirrors you create, the self that has associated with this body is looking back at you from all different angles. You can see all possible angles of yourself, from the sides and from the top and bottom. Take it in for a moment. See this reflection. But I want you to notice, with all of the different bodies that you see, they're all just you. But there is only one mind acknowledging all of these bodies. You are that mind. But notice how easy it is to duplicate the form, the body. Instead of just having one, you have multiples. And if you were to look at each one of them in the eyes, they would all feel the same. None of them feels differently, and yet there's multiples of them. Now what I want you to do is, more than likely, the reflection that you are seeing is reflecting clothing that you're wearing. I want you to remove the clothing. I want you to see yourself without clothing. Now, I don't know if you have judgment about your physical form. And I don't know if this makes you feel uncomfortable. And if it does, I'd like for you to remember that This form is not you. It's a temporary sheath that you are wearing in this lifetime. I really want you to really get that. It is not you. It is temporary, just like the clothing that you just took off. Now, if that felt weird, the next thing we're going to do is going to be even more weird. I want you to take your skin off. Because beneath your skin is a skeletal structure with tissue, making up muscles and tendons and ligaments. And if you have challenge with accumulating too much flesh on your body, this is an opportunity to strip it off. I want you to see yourself just at your base musculoskeletal level with all of the fibers that make up your musculoskeletal system. And it's going to be a very simple frame. Make sure that you have removed from the top of your head to the bottoms of your feet. And you don't have to worry, this is not going to make a mess on your mirrored floor. But I want you to see yourself in the mirror from all these different directions, top and bottom. See yourself, this you, in physical form that is not really the I. It is just the sheath that your soul is clothed in. And then when you're ready, I want you to remove the outer muscle tissue from your skeletal structure. Just let go of it. Let it fall away so that you can actually see your internal organs. Now, of course, there's fascia and connective tissue holding your organs in place. I don't want them to just fall out of your body, but I want you to be able to see them. I want you to see the 60 feet of small intestine. I want you to see the large intestine ascending and descending and transverse, connecting the two. I want you to see your heart pumping, your lungs moving in and out with your breath, expanding and contracting, the diaphragmatic muscle moving back and forth, creating the peristalsis that moves your stomach. I want you to see the liver, spleen. I want you to see your brain. Because conceptually, you've never really seen these things before. Look in the mirror. These are your organs. You may have seen pictures or videos online, on TV. You have an image in your mind of what your internal organs look like. But they've always been covered with this sheath, the skin, and these muscles. In fact, somebody may have told you that you had these organs inside your body because maybe you've been to the doctor and had problems with one of them. But have you actually ever really seen inside your body? Have you ever seen your femur, your rib cage, your spine? These are things that you take for granted that are holding your structure together, but they're really just a story. They're a story that the collective of humanity has created to talk about why you stand on two legs, why when you cut yourself, some red substance comes out. Why you have this meat in your head that supposedly gives you the ability to hear and to talk and to see, to smell, to taste. All of these stories about who you are, and yet much of it is fiction because you've never really seen it and proved it to yourself. I want you to just notice this. Now, when you're ready, I want you to let your internal organs fall away. So there is nothing left but an empty skeletal structure. Look at it in the mirror. See it from all different angles. Here you are, just a skeletal structure, and yet you remain. The thing that you call I still exists. Just notice that. You might even just do a little dance in the mirror just to prove to yourself that you still have volition. You can still move this skeletal structure. It still responds to your wishes and commands. Let's have even more fun. Take your head off. Now you can be just a skeleton holding your own skull. And yet, here you are. You still exist. See yourself in all of these mirrors, these reflections of this changing you. And when you're ready, let the skeleton fall apart. Just let it fall apart to the ground. What remains? I want you to see what is still there. Even if you have to look very, very closely. Is it light? Is it a vibration? Is it a wave? What remains? What is left behind? Now I want you to listen. Oh, you don't have ears, but yet you can still listen. What are you listening with? Listen to what is left behind. It has something to say to you. Listen. What is it telling you? What is the primordial thought of the you when all else is stripped away? Take your time. Listen. What is that primordial you saying? It has one message. Listen. Now that you have that message, whatever it is, we're going to create with it. As if it were the light of creation that needs to move into form in your own mind. The mind of consciousness itself. Build form with that light, with that message. Be spontaneous. What form, object, animal, plant, body does that message want to create with? You can start small. It could be a leaf. It could be a feather. It could be a piece of paper. Allow that message to move through the medium of light into form and see what it creates. Stay with the message. Don't get overly complicated. It doesn't even need to make sense. We're not trying to do anything. We're just allowing the primordial essence of you to not be hindered by the physical form and identification with your physical form that you have been distracted by. Allow the primordial essence of you to come into form via the message that it says, that it has, that it radiates, that it vibrates into your mind, into your consciousness, unobstructed. Be the observer, the same way that you would observe your thoughts. Observe your primordial essence. Just watch, listen. Be with the creative force that resides inside of you. It's there. You wouldn't exist without it. Keep building. And allow yourself to observe this primordial essence in its perfection. The I that you have associated yourself with in a state of perfection. What does it feel like to be in a state of perfection? Just notice what perfection feels like. It means that you are perfect exactly as you are. Not because of any story, not because of any convincing, simply because it couldn't be any other way. Now, this message, as it's been building form, whatever that looks like, place, a house, a forest, I don't know, but you know. I want you to take that your essence has created, and in your mind's eye, I want you to set it to the side. Could be the left, the right, above or below. Just set it to the side. I want you to bring up in your mind something that you are concerned about in your human form that's happening in your life right now. Something that is bringing you concern. And don't think about this. It's the first thing that comes to mind. Whether that's global or something small and seemingly trivial, it's what needs to be focused on right now. And I want you to see that story, whatever that story is. Who is involved? Where is it involved? What is your association to that? What are the thoughts that you have about it? And the feelings that you have toward it? Fill that image in your mind with all of the content that makes up this concern of yours. And bring it into the center of your awareness. Then when you're ready, I want you to take that new construction from your primordial essence, and I want you to overlay it on top of the image of the thing that is bringing you concern. You may see it just as a two-dimensional image, a three-dimensional image. It may just be a feeling. You may just know the signature of it. It may have sound. And I want you to allow the two to merge together. Whatever that looks like, whatever that sounds like, whatever that feels like, making the two merge together. And when that happens, allow yourself to be the empty vessel again, as a new message may arise. giving you focus and direction. What is the most important thing for you to do next in relation to that concern? It could be anything. It could be taking a plane trip, making a phone call, starting a movement, or going to the store. Just let it flow out of you naturally. Don't question it. Don't ask how. Just let the information come to you. And call in more of that primordial essence. To give you vitality. Ask for help. Deliberate help from your spiritual helpers, whatever form they come in, because whatever form they come in for you is just perfect for you, whether they're spirit animals or angels or just your higher self, your soul, God, the creative force of the universe, Brahman, Wakantanka, whatever it is for you, ask for help. Ask for guidance. Say, show me. Guide me. And allow yourself to be filled with the love of creation. It's really just reminding you, reminding you of what you already are, the light of creation, illuminating the darkness. You don't need to be powerful. You are power. You don't need to find truth, because you are truth. Breathe.